Hi guys. Hello. 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 I look the same as yesterday. Yep, I look the same as yesterday and there's nothing you can do about it. There's not, you know? There's nothing you can do about it. Oh no. So, I'm just, microwaving noodles. Microwaving noodles. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I always try to identify, okay, what's holding me in this current space that I'm in this simulated world, in this world where energy takes us where we are and brings us where we're going and takes us from one place to another. So in theory, this is a level, and so there's one place that I'm currently in, like a level that I'm currently in, but there's different ways that it works, right? So it's not just like a caste system. Oh, you're at this level, then you're at that level, that you're at that level, you're at that level. No. You know, there's something good about where you currently are, that's something so specific to you that nobody would have access to at the moment. And then there's something negative about your situation that nobody else is learning to cope with, but you currently are. You know, it's so tailored to you, your exact experience. So, one time I kind of meditated on this and I was this was a really long time ago, a couple years ago, okay? So, I ended up kind of saying to myself, yeah, I feel like I'm sort of stuck in one place in life a lot, but ironically, my proximity to bamboo is really close. There's bamboo 8 feet right here, 8 feet away right here, you know what I mean? Or right there. So I mean, that's a very high vibrational plant. It has some spiritual properties, and not everybody just lives next to bamboo. You know what I mean? It's almost you can be in any place in life. Maybe somebody, you know, has whatever going on. Maybe their rent is late or something, but they have a bonsai tree. It's well, you're next to something very high vibrational. You're next to something that not everybody gets to have. So not that it's good, but it's kind of you can see where not everybody has access to what you have, and also not everybody has whatever disadvantage you might have. So it's both. It's both. And so the goal is not to sacrifice the amazing thing you get to experience in favor of having a slightly better normal life. That's not what an upgrade would be. That's just a sacrifice. So, yeah. I'm gonna go get my noodles. All right. And sometimes those ideas, the ideas of can you manifest upgrades in your life? Sometimes that feels, you know, completely fake, but sometimes you stay in one place long enough that you start to wonder, why it's here. How can you still upgrade? It seems like everybody else is doing it. It must be something that you're not so inferior to everyone that you would be prevented from also being able to do or learn. Because clearly it seems like other people are capable of having some form of strategy, right? At least in retrospect, there is no shortage of people who will say that they had strategy to get where they're going or where they went, right? They'll be like, yeah, like I made a strategy and I just followed it. Like, I don't know what it means about you that you can say something to yourself and believe it and have it come true. If I believe it, it doesn't come true. If I, unless I believe it would be so terrible if it came true, and it actually would be terrible, then it might come true. If I'm wrong about it being terrible, it won't come true. So, I have to kind of go to a place in my mind where I'm like, so my soul actually just wanted terrible. Yep. There was some part of me that just liked terrible, and just, not that my life is so terrible, I don't mean it like that. Like, I don't mean that everything in my life is, like, not good. Like, there are obviously good things about my life. I'm not, like, trying to say that. I'm just saying, like, when you want to upgrade, you go to, like, the most depressed mindset possible, I think, if you feel like there's so much resistance to it. You're like, you kind of, like, ew. You know how there's, like, plastic? I just, like, tried to bite this open. When you can't tell if there's, like, a tiny part that's, like, still on your tongue or not? And you're just permanently like that. You just accept it. Oh, this sauce. I like the spicy sauce for the noodles, but, like, when it's not warm, it's, like, clumpy, right? But when it is warm, it's the kind of liquid that you can never, like, de-liquefy. Like, it's always liquid. Like, there's no describing it. It's like the worst kind of olive oil. It's, like, more watery than olive oil, but without actual water. Like, if you had put this on the dinosaurs back then, they would be fully preserved entire bodies. They would be fully preserved entire bodies. Ugh. So I'm just doing that to my organs, that way if I ever die, then guess what? They'll just, like, cut me open because they'll be like, wow, why'd you die? Because I think they wonder about that sometimes. So when they have a new one, they're like, oh, like, why did this one die? Like, I think they wonder about that, so I think they'll be like, okay, like, why did this one die? They'll cut me up and they'll be like, oh, so, like, your organs are, like, fully preserved in resin on the inside. No wonder, like, that's great. But, like, no wonder you didn't last that long. No wonder you didn't last that long. Ew. Another wonderful thing I do that's actually so terrible is, like, if I do upgrade in life, I'll be like, well, what did I do that, like, mattered? Like, I'll try everything once something works. It's like I don't understand, like, what mattered, So then I'll, like, attach meaning to something that doesn't mean anything. But, like, in a really bad way, because then I'm, like, trapped there. I'm like, yeah, like, this one idea that randomly popped into my head has to be the only reason why I upgraded out of that moment. The only reason. Like, it has to be. And now I'm just, like, permanently stuck to that. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Ew. I'm gonna wash the tree juice off of my hands. It's actually this, but, like, the fuck is that? No one knows. Then you know what else I do? You know what else? I'll try everything to upgrade. I'll try everything that makes sense. I'll like meditate on this. I could do that for like 10 years straight, okay? Do that for 10 years straight. Something finally works. And I'm like, oh my God, who did that? Because it wasn't me. I've been trying for 10 years. It wasn't me. You know what I mean? Like, but then it's like, maybe I just finally found the right combination, but no, I've been trying for my whole life. So it wasn't me, right? Like, it wasn't, like, what if it was just me? What if something I did finally made me stronger at, like, manifesting? But I'll be like, no, it wasn't me. Like, it had to be somebody else. Still. I could see, okay, imagine I'm at, like, such a low level that I'll see, like, a dead squirrel on the ground every day for, like, 10 years. Like, every day. And I'm trying to resolve the issue. But the dead squirrel follows me. Still. Right? So I'll try to fix it. But guess what? Guess what? The day that I finally don't see one, I'll think that it was somebody else who fixed it and not me. Not even a coincidence, but I'll think it was somebody who fixed it and not me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, there's a mosquito trying to attack my noodles, but guess what? I'm gonna eat them with a spoon. Yep. That's the plan. It's not gonna work, but that's the plan. It's kind of working, but I'm eating my hair by accident. Somehow. I think. But I don't know because it's science anyway. It's so good. I just have like a Publix water bottle and a liquid IV, but it's the firecracker popsicle flavor, which is crazy. Not really, but I was thinking of something else that was crazy. You know what, guys? So there's the war going on in Iran. And there's Israel, and there's the United States. And I think you guys know. But I don't know what you guys know of it, but I think you guys know. You know. And if you're in Iran or Israel, hopefully you're staying safe, because obviously this is a very, very, very disturbing, crazy turn of events. But also, I think you're probably used to it because you've known that, like, historically in your areas, I don't know, a lot of things happen. So at the same time, it's like, stay safe, but you also probably already know how to stay safe because, I don't know, you probably have things like this happen a lot. So, because it's a very different life. It's not like the United States. It's a very different life. It's a very different life, for sure, so. Yeah. But I will say, on the topic of being a psychic, and I'm gonna explain more of, like, you know, there's nothing right now that I have like a psychic like feeling about, or like intuition, right? Psychic inkling. There's not a ladybug crawling on me or anything. That's totally my sister. She will have like 18 ladybugs walking on her. It's not me. It's her. She's the magical one. I'm just here by proximity, you know, but like, you know. What I will say though is that I had one very controversial thing that I wanted to say that I posted, I actually decided to post on TikTok, and I was kind of like, maybe I'm a terrible person for stating what I feel, saying something like, who do I think I am for wanting to, just because maybe I had a few little psychic moments and things that came true, like, who do I think that I am to post something about, like, a prediction, right? A prediction based on the war in the Middle East and America's involvement in it. Why would I post a prediction on that when there was really nothing to, like, base it on? So I decided I was a bad enough person that I was gonna do it. So because I decided I was such a terrible person that there was no resolving it, I decided to go ahead and just post the honest prediction that I had. So, you know, not like it's gonna come true, not like, you know, but based on nothing, kind of like the more so like, I think it was like the 13th of June when I decided to post it, but I started to feel that around like the 10th, 11th, and 12th of June, but I was like, whatever, like, I'm not like that bad of a person, like, I'm not gonna post this the exact second I have the idea, but by the 13th, I was like, fine, I am a terrible person, I'll post my prediction, I will. Oh no, you can't stop me. No matter what, I will. I was like, you know, it's not like it's gonna go viral, I've never gone viral in my life, so I've never got more than 6,000 views on something, you know, so it's not like I have a danger of something like that happening. It's not like I have a danger of somebody finding out that, like, even if I got it right or wrong, or even if I am the reason why people would have died or something. I mean, who knows, it's a war, but also I'm not in the government, but also who knows who's gonna see it. It's a war and social media, and we don't even know collectively how those things mix yet. We don't collectively know. How do those things even mix? Do world leaders just spend hours scrolling on the comment section? We don't know. We don't know if they have a For You page where they're just scrolling forever. We don't know how many little, like, views or videos that have like 3 views that they're watching fully and they're like, honestly, that was a good take. I'm gonna change the entire future of the world because it's such a weird coincidence that I saw that video. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. So that part, I think on Earth we're kind of like new to like combining conflict in the Middle East with social media and world leaders that just make new choices and decisions on a whim a lot, and the whole world just watches and we're like, we don't know which way this is going. We know what political views we're pretty sure we have, but we're not in the government, so even when we're sure that we know what's going on our side and what you're doing to us directly, we don't know who's doing what to whoever we don't even know about, who's really, you know, making other choices in the Middle East and stuff. Like, from an American perspective, we know what affects Americans and what's a good choice for Americans pretty well, but we don't know who's on what side in the Middle East without a lot more information that we don't have. So a lot of people just make judgments and they're like, this is what's happening, that's what's happening. Anyway, so I decided to take into account all of the facts actually no facts. All of the imaginary facts that I just listed. You know, and no real facts. So I decided to do that. Okay, I decided to do that. So on the 13th, I posted on 6/13/25, I decided to post saying something like, I feel like the United States doesn't actually always agree with Israel, but they're like terrified of Israel and they're so scared and they have to like keep up this fake friendship because they're so scared of Israel that they don't know what Israel's going to do if they don't keep the friendship, and it's like the only thing that's keeping Americans safe at the moment in that way is because they like have to side with Israel. It's not that Israel's ever like doing a good job or doing what they're actually like doing the right thing. It's not like Israel's ever doing the right thing, and it's not like America's like lost on the fact that Israel's never doing the right thing. It's just that like they're I don't know, they're allowed like either forced or allowing themselves to be in a position where they're forced to essentially like submit to Israel and allow Israel to like make choices on their behalf. So anyway, the comments, I only got, because like I said, the most views I've ever got on something is like 6,000 anyway. So on this, and that was one time. Other than that, it's been like 1,000 views or 3 views, 1 view, 0 views. I get 0 views a lot. So I get 0 views a lot. So I wasn't like, this is going somewhere, but I was like, theoretically, there's a possibility and stuff like that, but like not a real possibility. Like there's a possibility, but like, you know, ew, I got hair in my noodles. Fine, I guess it's a real possibility, I don't know. Whatever. So, yeah. I guess, you know, I got like, I think it was like 200 views on that, or less than that, but I think it was like 200, okay? And like 11 likes, 12 likes, 13 likes, okay? At most. And like 3 comments, I think, or 1 comment. I don't know. I think some of the comments might have been like emojis or something, just like an emoji, 1 emoji, like just some happy emoji or something weird. I don't know, maybe not. I don't remember. But, and then like the other comment was like, I don't understand why you're saying this or why you would say this. Like, it was like, and I was like, honestly, you're right. Like, I didn't say anything, but I was like, honestly, you're right. Like, why did I say that? Like, I just felt like I decided on all of our behalf to post this thing that got 200 views, like, across the face of the planet. Like, okay, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, and then of course a few days later, I don't know when you guys found out that Trump, the leader of the United States or whatever like that, something, I don't know. If you're not from the United States, you're gonna be like, well, you know, what's going on, you know, so. Anyway, he decided something about like not liking Israel. I'm like, well, I got 200 views, that didn't come from me, but obviously, but like, you know, what's going on? So, did I sense it? What day did you guys find out? Because the day I found out was like yesterday, so. Oopsie. I didn't mean to know, but like, there we are. I didn't mean to know, but it's too late now. It's okay. Me and my noodles are all the way over here in Florida. One of the places listed as somewhere that Iran wanted to like invade or something like that. I don't know what it is, right? I just said I don't think. I mean, that sounds pretty like, you know, like, oh, I don't think. Anyway, so, I guess what I was gonna say, well, I don't know what I was gonna say. I just said that so I'd hopefully find out, but it didn't work. Yeah. Oh. I was going to originally say something like, I don't think they're going to, like invade Florida. And yeah, I don't see that coming because I feel like we're so far. It's weird because it can go either way, right? Like these energies, like people have to understand. I don't know what it's like for people who actually work in government to try to determine what's going to happen. I know for me, I feel the energies and I'm like, okay, so like you have to understand that each one operates a different way, right? Like some energies are going to operate more in like a circle, going a certain direction, and some are going to operate. It's kind of like if you understand like wind patterns, right? If you're looking at like an overview of something and you understand like, okay, the wind pattern, like this type of wind pattern around this type of area is like a swoosh, right? And it's just gonna keep going, and it's like at this speed, it's like a swoosh around over here. And then it's like you see a different wind pattern, or you feel a different wind pattern, you're like, okay, I know this one operates in like a circular nature, right? And it always goes clockwise, not counterclockwise. So if that abruptly changed after all of this time of it only operating this one way, that wouldn't really make sense. Not that it can't happen, but it would have to have a different kind of cause than what we currently have, because that type of cause has never changed that. It wouldn't suddenly go counterclockwise out of nowhere unless you had some type of predictor for that. So you would have had to have seen that in order to be somebody who is qualified to expect that. So you can't just go around saying, I expect it'll change to this and this and that, unless you've already seen predictors for it that may change the direction of the energy. So that's how, as somebody who's not a part of the government, I would look at trying to predict some of these events. Yeah, but it's really like based on the way that it feels, but you can feel the way that wind is traveling. So it's not so fake that you can feel this, it's just not that you can predict it all the time, because there can be something else that interferes. So, yeah. But you also, if somebody's psychic, they also have to take into account their own chakra system, because the reason why I started to say it doesn't seem likely to happen, but then I stopped myself from talking, I realized you have to have an understanding of your own chakra system, because for me, I wouldn't feel like, oh, this is actually, you know, I'm trying to figure out the way to say it, because it's not like, okay, so I was going to say, it's like I would have felt like it wasn't actually happening unless people like actually walked inside my door, you know what I mean? But I don't know that that's the case, because it isn't like I would be like, oh my gosh, this is happening, like then it's really happening. No, it's more so like I've already been conditioned to be like, well, it probably is happening, so it's as if they're already in the room anyways, you know what I mean? So even if they walked inside, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, like they're here, you know what I mean? I mean, I would be like reacting differently, but internally, I don't think I would be like reacting differently that much. Because I would just be like, okay, like I already could have foreseen this as being like true anyway. So, yeah. So it's almost like I just feel like my chakras have already overcome that, even though it's still a possibility of it being a real event. So then going into predicting world events, you can't go into predicting, okay, how would I feel in the event this happened, because the way that the future version of you would feel if this happened is always changing, because you're currently growing and evolving in ways that the future you didn't even know were possible, which changes the future version of you, because now that version of you knows that it's possible. So you have to be able to understand the way that things function and then subtract yourself from the equation to look at what it actually is, and then be able to explain it from your own perspective. And then know that you're so terrible that whatever predictions you have are probably not going to happen, but you're so terrible that you can't prevent yourself from being terrible so much that you might as well post them. Because you never could have predicted yourself being this terrible, but you're definitely going to allow it to happen because you're terrible. And then it comes true and you're like, I don't know what this means now. I don't know what this means now, because you have to understand the place that I came from. I have to understand the place that I came from when I said that and know that it just means nothing. And it just means nothing. But then to hope that it means something, no, that can mean anything, I guess. I don't know if I shook this. I think I did. I've been forgetting little, like, not misplacing objects, but like, you know, when you like, it's like, okay, like, I shook this, but like, I don't remember shaking it. Like, and now I do, but like before, at some point I did, but like normally I felt like I kept track of like every memory so exactly that like I would have remembered like putting on deodorant 4 days ago. The exact moment, and exactly what happened before it, and exactly what happened afterwards, and like nothing happened afterwards, and nothing happened before, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know why I cared so much, but I think I thought it had a purpose. But like, why did I think that I was so important that like remembering my own life was important? I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. But isn't it so magical that we have memories? Like, what do you mean we looked at something and we know it's happened before? What do you mean you looked at something? You walked away, now you know that you've looked at that before? Like, it's kind of good, you know? It's kind of, when you really, if you really like meditate on like, it's so crazy that I can imagine colors. It's so crazy that I can be aware of my own thoughts. Like, it's crazy that I have the opportunity to be aware of my own thoughts. I'm trying to transition more into that version of meditation, because the other version of meditation, it was so terrible. I could not meditate for years. There were like 10 years of my life I could not meditate because I would just have a panic attack. Close my eyes and it's like, now there's a hippo and it immediately turns into glass and shatters, and then it's in food and people are eating it, and it's happening like so fast. I'm like, this is on the most intense speed. Like, not only do I not, like, it's like I understand, like, okay, that was a hippo, now it's shattered glass, like, but that was a hippo. Like, it's like, it would happen so fast, I didn't get to, like, control any of it. It would happen on, like, an impossible speed, I didn't get to control any of it. It's like, yeah, I understood, like, okay, like, I know what I'm seeing, but, like, I don't know why this is happening. If I start to be like, well, why is this happening? Does it mean anything? And it's happening so fast, it doesn't slow down or stop. And none of it feels, like, explained to me by my own brain. It just gets scarier and weirder and faster and worse and terrifying, and I can't control that. That was how I felt for, like, 10 years, so I would not want to even, like, close my eyes to, like, I could not meditate. I didn't understand what meditation was, but if I closed my eyes, that was happening in the most like lucid, like real way. And I was like, I don't know what to do, because this doesn't mean anything, but it feels like it does, and I think that it does. And what is a hippo supposed to be in a metaphor? But I can't think about that and figure it out, because now I'm on to like, there was like a light switch, someone turned it on, and then like all the houses caught on fire, and like people are roasting on a barbecue now, and like I don't understand, like, you know what I mean? Like, it would be like within half a second it goes to like the next extreme trauma, and I'm just like, why am I taking in all of this information if none of it means anything? So now I've been like able to like reel it back and be like, okay, like, aren't I just grateful that I have thoughts at all, and like, isn't it just so cool that like I know what a hippo is and that I can look at it and recognize it? Like, isn't it just so cool that like it's possible to look at a hippo? Like, isn't it just like, I'm so grateful that like somehow hippos exist, and that I exist, and that eyes exist, and like just focusing on like the little things that I can like be like, okay, like there actually is something good about this. You know, like, this doesn't have to be the worst thing ever. Like, there actually is something good about what's happening. Anyway, that's really all I have for the video. I love you guys. Bye!